Lexington makes a return to regionals tonight for the 6th time in 8 years and 4th consecutive, looking for a 3rd straight trip to the regional finals. Their opponent, Bishop Watterson, hasn't survived the on-district since 2014, but rides a 7-match win streak on a big wave of momentum into tonight's match. It's live and free boys regional soccer streaming right into the palm of your hands, thanks to our generous sponsors. And it's all on the way, coming up next.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Goodness, what a catch!
The Lexington Minutemen play for a 3rd consecutive trip to the Division II Elite 8, taking on Bishop Watterson tonight in the regional semifinals. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Marion Harding High School alongside Travis Berardi. My name is Brian Skoronsky, and this is the Charter Next Generation pregame show. And no surprise, look who's back in this round again. Travis, playing in regionals, the Lexington Minutemen. They just keep the wheels of success rotating. Peter Tem, he's got the engine roaring yet again. I don't know how they do it, but they keep finding good players, and they teach them how to play quality soccer.
And I don't think he knew this as well early in the season. I think they were expecting maybe at least a 500 season or better, but look at what they've done. They've won 14 matches, only one loss, and that's to a B squad 1-0 that's, always in the regional as well. But, thinking you lose Ryan Parker, an All-American, kind of like Taylor Huff on the girls' side. You had Ryan Parker on this side. They had high hopes last year, that tough regional championship loss to Howland, who ended up winning the state championship. You thought maybe that was their chance, but maybe that was a little chip on their shoulder because they're right back at here, and they have a very good squad with a bunch of seniors that want to get it done.
I think you're right. Maybe they are playing a little bit angry this year. Definitely overlooked. We got that from the team, speaking to them after the big win over Ontario to win the district championship. And I caught up with head coach Pete Tem to discuss the tournament journey so far and also his impact that he brings as a head coach now that he's a veteran. Take a listen. Ninth-year head coach of the Lexington Minutemen, Peter Tem, joining me right now and starting to make a habit of getting to these round of regionals, man. 4th straight year for this in particular group. How do you see maybe some of the perception of what it means to get to this round changing with your guys and how they approach coming into tonight's game?
I know a few years ago we just were happy to be here. Now it's that expectation to be here. That's the program that these boys have built, that they put in place. The guys before them, the legacy, and so just they want to be the ones that keep carrying it on and keep building this program and putting it on the shoulders of the guys before us and just keep going, building the bricks. So.
And for you, 9 years, eight trips that at least you've been to districts, you've been getting to this game a lot too. What do you think you bring to the table now as a coach, as an experienced coach, maybe making some in-game adjustments or game plans on the fly?
I'm only as good as the guys I got. So, I got a great assistant coach that helps and does a great job. He's reads the game very well. So, I listen to him a lot. And, the boys, they buy in and they do what they need to do. And so, when they listen and they, implement the game plan, everything works out. And, sometimes you got to take chances and just figure it out. And so these boys have just done a nice job. And every year you kind of learn a little bit. Like I said, you add a brick to the stack and just keep building. So.
Give me a little bit of insight as to game plan tonight and how much of it you guys go about implementing game to game versus doing what you guys do best.
Yeah, we got some things that we'll, kind of adjust for tonight with, Bishop Watterson and what they bring to the table. But for the most part, we're going to do what we need to do, play our game, and, got to put the ball in the back of the net. So see what happens.
All right, appreciate it. Peter Tem, thanks for the time, man.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Peter definitely got his guys playing some quality high-level soccer right now. 9 consecutive victories for them. And for the Eagles, a perfect example, I think, too, hitting their stride at the best time. They haven't lost since September, Travis, and they have shut out 4 of their last 6 opponents. So they're at least coming in here with the belief they can keep it going, get on to the next round, get past Lex.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. They started off 1-2-1. They lost 6-2. 5-2 in a couple of matches, but since then 11-1-1. And like you said, they got together. They're the number 15 team in the state. And something I look at is the way the goalies have played here recently. You got Weaver on Lexington. He has 65 saves, and then on the other side, they have a very good goalie that has really stood on his head the last 6 matches, giving up only 3 goals.
I spoke to Watterson head coach Chad Smith just a few moments ago, and he talked to us about finishing strong and then also what his belief is as a coach and how he should get his guys ready for tonight. Head coach of the Eagles, Chad Smith, joining me now. And, Coach, I think there's something to be said about finding your stride at the right time of the season. No losses for you guys since September. What have you liked about your crew that's been able to get it together here when it matters most?
I like our unity. We are a team. Every sport you play, football, soccer, whatever, it's all about a team for what we do. And it takes a lot to get there. A lot of hard work, a lot of practice. But I like our team sense and our belief in the wins. Simple as that.
And for this crew, nobody on the team has played in the regionals yet. Tell me about your coaching philosophy and, are you trying to get them amped up for it or keeping it cool?
So the players, correct. Players kind of come and go through the process. The coaching staff has coached in 3 Final Fours before. So I think what your question is very valid. We're here to play soccer. We're here to play soccer, not to have the moment be bigger than what it is, which is hard to accomplish at times, but we're here to play soccer, for sure.
So for you guys to get the win here tonight, what do you think needs to happen that goes well for you?
We got to start well, start strong, start confident, and then deal with adversity as it comes. We discussed that for 3 days. No team plays perfect. No team has it all together. But when you can work the moments of adversity and come through them better, you can win.
All right, appreciate the time. We'll see if it goes well for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
Just love his attitude and just overall how he was talking to his guys, Travis, before the game. You know, he was being motivational, but at the same time telling them just, you know, be calm, be comfortable, have fun, but at the same time, come out here and know that you got some business to take care of.
Yeah, this is, like we said earlier, this is a team that hasn't been in a regional since 2014, and the cool thing about that 2014 state semifinal run, they came into that tournament with only 4 wins. They ran the table, made it to a state semi, and lost 1-0 to the eventual state champion. So bringing that mindset that anything can happen if you get hot at the right time, and he was pumped up. I love how he was going through some of the workouts with his players during there, all pumped up, yelling. I like what he's bringing to the table today.
And one guy that always brings it every single time, how about Jake Furr of the Mansfield News Journal, the award-winning now newspaper writer. So I feel like we're definitely blessed by some royalty up here, Jake. Appreciate you jumping on with us. And you got some Jake's takes for us again today. Break it down for us, homie. Like, what is it going to be that decides tonight's contest?
To me, I mean, this is a match of strength versus strength. You have Bishop Watterson, who's only been shut out one time this year. They tied with Bexley in a 0-0 tie. So their offense is kind of their strength of their team right now. As Travis said, they are playing a little bit better defensively of late, especially when they got in the tournament. But they scored 57 goals on the year. And like I said, have only been shut out one time. On the other side, you have Lexington, they hang their hats on defense. They have a program record 12 shutouts. They've only allowed 11 goals all year long. I mean, that's
crazy number.
To me, that's insane. What, 29 or 19 games, I think, so far this year, and they've only allowed 11 goals. So you really have strength versus strength. I think this would be a huge game for Lexington to pitch another shutout, get that 13th, and hold this dangerous offense at bay. Then the other key is Lexington's kind of offensive emergence as soon as this tournament started rolling around. They have 84 goals this year over their last 9 games. So at the beginning of the year, they were trying to find their offense, and they finally found it over these last 9 games. 41 goals in the tournament alone. I mean, they're really finding themselves on the offensive side. So that's really great to see. If they can keep it going, I think they can match Watterson's offensive abilities. And then the final one, I mean, the kid that did it all in the district final, Alex Depperschmidt, had an all-time performance with a hat trick in the district final game to win that championship, the 14th district title in program history. I think if you look back, he may top the list of all-time great district championships, and he could have another big game tonight, I think.
Yeah, he certainly had a special performance, but that kid right there, Gage Potter, how about what he's done throughout the season? The OCC Offensive Player of the Year, first team all-district, Jake, and 27 goals. What I like most is that also when he gets involved, he finds guys like Depperschmidt and some of the wings. 19 assists that he handed out, sometimes big-time goal scorers. They're always so focused on the net that they don't play complementary team soccer. This kid does everything.
I completely agree. I think he's one of the best, if not the best player in Richland County, just with his multiple abilities. Like you said, he likes to find the open guy for an open goal. During the tournament this year, he had 8 goals in one game. He broke the program record for most goals in a game. So his teammates look to him to be a leader. So I think he's going to set the tone early tonight.
But as you mentioned, what Lexington hangs their head on, it's all about that defense, brother. And boy, do they suffocate you. They lock you down. 12 shutouts, as you mentioned. That's the most that they've ever had in the storied program history. Look at this number, though, 0.58 goals against per game, and they just gave up 3, a season high, in their last game against Ontario.
Yeah, I mean, that defense, those numbers speak for themselves. When they made that run to the state semifinal a few years ago, they had 11 shutouts, so this defense is even better. And last year, they lost almost every defender.
I know.
I mean, they just rotate them in, and I think it's the mentality of this program. They're gonna do the dirty work to win games, and it's gonna start on the defensive end.
And I'd like to chime in with a take here. What are your thoughts on this match? You know, Lexington just played a very emotional, a huge matchup in the district championship against Ontario. You know, got a little bit chippy there, a lot of emotions used. How do they kind of, I wouldn't say bounce back, but how did they, get emotionally back into that mindset coming into this regional after what they did against Ontario?
Well, I think the good news is that they don't have to bounce back in terms of coming from a loss.
No,
because
yeah.
doubled up their conference rival, or not conference, their cross-county rival. So I think that plays well for them. Big hat trick by Depperschmidt, too. I think that really is going to bolster his confidence as they're starting to look to him more offensively now in his junior season after not doing a ton last couple of years, even though he was a part of the mix. So I'll let you extrapolate on that, Jake, and give me your take.
I guess it was just more of just an emotional, I'd say it was a draining match. You got the win. You had to use a lot out of it. It was chippy, but how can they just get back to playing soccer?
I think by taking this first 5-10 minutes of this game and just kind of really setting the tone with their guys, letting them know, hey, this is how we're going to play this game. Because, like you said, I mean, you look back at yesterday, Madison girls, they just it didn't look like they were emotionally into it, but they just came off of a big win over Ontario last week. That was their kind of Super Bowl, if you will say. So that'll be interesting because Lexington's Super Bowl is just a little bit ago, but I don't know. It's going to take a lot mentally to get hyped up for this game. But I think once the ball starts rolling around, the juice will start flowing there.
For the Minutemen, this is their fourth straight time for these seniors getting to the regionals, though, Jake. So I don't know, actually, that the Ontario game was necessarily their Super Bowl. Their expectation is to get to this round of the tournament and maybe even beyond. I know that they have bigger dreams now, especially since they've gotten to this point and they see what's laid out ahead of them. We'll go ahead and step aside, though, for a couple of minutes as they represent America with the playing of our national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. Brian Skronsky, Travis Berardi, and also Jake Furr of the Mansfield News Journal joining us right now for the pregame. So we'll let you get down. I know you got to take some photos on the sideline. Jake, if you want to give some final thoughts about this matchup, and you broke down, what it's going to take for both sides and what they bring to the equation, maybe give me a prediction of how you see this one all playing out by the end of the night.
Bishop Watterson's a little bit one-sided. The number 8 there, that's kind of their main goal scorer. So I see Lexington kind of coming out and focusing a lot on him and making sure he doesn't get loose. He's a big guy out there, man. He's standing a head taller than everybody else, so he might be a little bit difficult. But I think they're going to focus in on him, and then I think they want to get one early. I think they're going to try and get one early here, get a nice little run out, and hopefully get an early lead and kind of coast from there.
All right, appreciate the time. Jake Furr, award-winning journalist for the Mansfield News Journal. Appreciate you so much for the time, bud. Announcing the starters now for both of these sides, and for Lexington, boy, what a treat getting back to this point of the postseason, and you don't ever want to take it for granted, even if you are a part of a program like what Peter Thames put together, and then the coaching staff before that with Buck Morton and all the success that they were able to enjoy before Peter took over. Just cool to be playing for a chance to go back to the Elite Eight, Travis. And these guys, watching them in the pregame, they seem calm and comfortable, and I think that they're ready to perform again here and show that they're one of the best teams in the state, ranked number 6 heading into tonight.
Well, you know what? I think it's just the fact that these players, these seniors, this is a normal thing for them. They want to get past districts. Districts, that's not their Super Bowl for them, maybe like some other teams. They want to continue this run of regional appearances, and they don't want to be the team that doesn't make it.
That's a good point. Yeah, you don't want to be the one that ends the streak. Keep piling on, though. You want to make your own legacy from year to year. And you talked about the great players that they had. Ryan Parker especially stands out, 2-time All-American the last couple of seasons, so you replace him. Who's going to step up and be a superstar and be a top performer? Well, we've seen Gage Potter and then also Alex Stepperschmidt. This guy has really come alive, Travis. In particular, the second half of the season, where he's starting to become more of a goal scorer. Early in the year, he was handing out a lot of assists. He was definitely a big part of the offense, but he wasn't looking for his shot first. Now, when he's getting an opportunity, not only is he looking for shots, he's putting them in the back.
It's all about confidence. You get 1 or 2 goals in the back of the net, just continue to get that confidence. You continue to play a little bit harder, to keep on going, and that's what he did. And he impressed me, especially the Ontario match as well, of what he did, and that just helps out Lexington and it helps balance out that offense. So, Gage doesn't get double teamed as much because you have to focus on Alex. And then, his brother also, OCC Defensive Player of the Year. So this team has it all. And one of the stronger Lexington squads, and like I said in the Open, this is a team that not many thought that they were going to, maybe make it back here, but you get a couple wins. This team, their 7th ranked matchup, they're 3-1-2 against those ranked opponents. So they got that early confidence with some big wins against ranked opponents, and they just let it build, and it continued on, and now they're one of the best teams in the state right now, number 6.
And I think it's because they've got the established tradition. Let's go ahead and check out what they've been doing over the last 8 seasons, where they have got to the round of regionals 6 times. Look at all those wins they've been piling up, and they play one of the toughest, most challenging Division II schedules in the entire state. They'll go on the road. They'll play big-time D2s, D1s. They don't care who it is, anytime, any place, anywhere. That's why they've been battle-tested for years and years now, and why they've experienced so much success. Because when you see the best, Travis, that lets you know where you need to get to be the best. And for the Minutemen, while they have not won a state championship, they've been right there on the cusp, knocking on the door. Last year, they thought they had a great chance before they were upset by Lima Shawnee in the regional championship match. Played Warren Howland, another team that had to come from behind to beat them the previous season in the state Final Four. So they're starting to get to the point where every single year they're a true contender for a state title.
Yeah, and that's Lexington soccer now. And you've seen with even on the girls' side or with the Ontario Warriors here on the boys' side, you have to play that tough non-conference opponents, because some of these teams in your conference, it's not gonna help you out because they're not to the level that you are. So the better teams, they play that tough non-conference schedule. You might get some losses like we saw last night with the Madison Rams. They had 9 losses, but those 9 losses were to really good talent, and it just made them better, and it got them to the regional level despite 9 losses. And you could say that about Bishop Watterson back in 2014. They only had 4 wins going into the tournament, but those losses that they had were against really good opponents, and it got them ready for this moment.
So this right here is where we're at. D2 regional semifinal today. The winner will advance Saturday. We don't know who they're going to play, of course. The other half of the regional taking place tonight, and we don't know what time, what location. We do know it's going to be on Saturday, though, Travis.
And we do know it's going to be either Shawnee or Sandusky Perkins, so we'll have to see that. Shawnee coming in ranked 5th. Perkins, unranked, SBC. That conference isn't as good as some of the other conferences, so they don't get as many good wins. That's why they're unranked, but still, they're in a regional for a reason.
I'll be looking at the Facebook feed throughout the course of the night, and we'll have our fan zone in full force as we always do. So drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. We always love having the fan engagement, finding out where our viewers are enjoying our live and free broadcast from. So please drop us a line. Let us know where you watching from here tonight and who are you cheering for. Talking to our social media specialist, Hayden Gray, he was explaining that he felt like this was the most play that we've had so far on a Twitter post for a matchup.
Yeah,
for soccer.
A lot of Bishop Watterson fans. The soccer Twitter from Bishop Watterson, the school, the student section, they all tweeted out. So everybody down in Columbus, welcome live and free here to the OH Report. And let's see if you can get your comments on the world famous fan zone. Not many people do that.
See right away that Watterson trying to get it to their big gun. Trent Mazzano, senior forward, having an exceptional season. Peter Tim told me before the match that, I mean, that's their guy. You see they're looking for him right here as he places it into the box. Lexington ready for it, and they're going to put it out of play.
And for the Minutemen, it's just they have to withstand this first rush by Bishop Watterson as that goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a corner for them. But, just withstand this first rush, get settled in, and then play your game. But right now, this is a good chance for Bishop Watterson to really strike first as they get the first corner of the match.
See how they attack this set piece right down Main Street into the middle. Minutemen able to get a header on it. So it's going to chase the ball out of the box. It's going to be sent right back in.
Yeah, that corner went right to the head of Will Perkins, who was able to clear it out. But Watterson's still applying the pressure.
See Depperschmidt trying to hold off the defender, unable to as he turns it over, and the Eagles going to loft one here to the outside, hoping that Dylan Brown can make a play on it and he'll maintain possession. Like the patience and the poise that we're seeing so far here from the Eagles, though it's early, just a couple of minutes in, but keeping the ball with them, Travis, and they're not really forcing anything. They've got their big gun in the middle, but they've only tried to get it to him really on a forced pass one time as this one's lobbed again into the box.
Yeah, since the opening kick, they've had it in Lexington's zone, and they're not doing anything crazy. They're trying to get the open man. They're trying to get an open shot, good passes, and it's working right now as they've continued to apply pressure.
Joey White off the cross that time. Cleared by Lexington momentarily. Eagles looking to keep the pressure on. Lexington not accustomed to defending for this long back in their zone, but doing a nice job. You see they're packing it in. 9 guys in white jerseys as that one, just 2 hands on it by Weaver, popped up over the top. But boy, that was just crunch from the outside.
That was a pretty shot from mid-distance. Almost curled it under the bar, but Weaver, with his height, able to bounce it over, and Bishop Watterson will get its second corner of the match.
66 saves so far on the campaign for Weaver, including that one. Having a dynamite season. There he is, skying up, getting it at the highest point. Always a sign of a quality keeper. Though he throws it out there. Intended for Potter. I thought he was going to get it there, but well done. Busted up by Alex Spires.
Yeah, I like what Watterson is doing so far. They have all but 2 up in the Lexington zone right now, trying to apply, like I said, apply that pressure. Maybe you get a goal on there as Weaver gets that flick back to him. Maybe we'll see a Lexington offensive possession now, but he outkicks his coverage.
Sometimes that's intended. Big driving punt. Just try to switch the field here. Allow some of his midfielders to change their vantage point on the field. Get back up into more of an attacking setting. And here they are with a throw-in coming from midfield in the hands here of Jacob Hathaway.
So we finally get to see a Lexington offensive possession here. So that's going to be kicked out, and they're going to have a really good shot here. Throw-in just outside the box.
And the beauty of this Lexington offense is, while they'll spread you out and they can attack you from pretty much anywhere, the counterattack, in my opinion, is where they really, really can hit you the hardest. And they don't have to have the ball in terms of possession for very long. As soon as they get it up top to guys like Potter and Depperschmidt, look out. They got the speed, they got the physicality, and they can get shots from pretty much anywhere.
And that was key in their win against Ontario. It actually helped them draw a red card and put Ontario down to 10 men early on in that match by that counterattack.
Now here comes Lex. Touch to the outside. Not a good one by Depperschmidt.
Well, that was a nice save by Hathaway to, for the time, keep the ball in, but Hathaway will get Bishop Watterson will get a throw in.
Just over 5 minutes gone by. So far, Watterson has had all of the offensive chances. And looking for more Maizano. Just placing it towards the middle of the field, put a little bit of pace behind it, see if something will happen. They're able to keep possession here with Hammerly.
Well, that's a nice move.
Now the turnover to Depperschmidt. Here comes the counterattack. These two guys, so electric. They play really well off of one another.
It's a nice job by Justin Doss to, for the time being, shut down the attack. Allowed his defenders to get back at least.
Good touch
Clear
by
away.
Potter, at least initially. But the Eagles defending well. Now they're looking for Maizano, and you can already tell what a difference maker this guy is.
Jack Depperschmidt, though, OCC Defensive Player of the Year, able to flick that away from him.
Boy, these two Depperschmidts, they bring totally different skill sets to the table, but both equally as valuable. One on the back line, a lot of toughness that you see from Jack, and he's never afraid to give up his body. And then his brother, a little bit more slight in stature, but he's got all the quickness of a cat mixed with the speed of a mongoose. And those two together, boy, they have been dynamite electric for this Lexington bunch. And I think both of them maybe overachieving this season from what we thought coming into the campaign.
How many Depperschmidts are there? I mean, didn't we have one play in
There's
the
a
state
few.
Final Four in basketball
Yeah, I
a
think
few
we
years
did.
back as well for the Minutemen? So, you know, it's kind of like the Grosses at Mansfield Senior. You have the Depperschmidts at Lexington.
Nice header back into traffic here. So Lexington starting to get something going. Potter sets it up. Depperschmidt had it deflected. They lob it back to him, but it's going to be headed away. High-level soccer. You can just tell both of these teams quality at all three levels.
Yeah, and, you know, not a lot of people just standing around. You have the two defenders back for Bishop Watterson that, you know, aren't playing full up, but then you have 8 others that are going pretty much the whole length of the field playing offense and defense for them.
Very active midfield so far for the Eagles, though they're staying back right here. Lexington earned the throw-in as they're looking to reverse, get into the attacking third. Physical play there in the midfield, won by Lex.
Just swarming the Lexington players, just really shutting down the attempt on those breakaways for them.
Depperschmidt pressured. Leads to the Eagles coming away with possession.
That was a nice job by Lex to shut that down for the moment.
It's been a little bit sloppy here in terms of maintaining possession over the last couple of minutes, as that one off target with the intended pass and leads to another change of possession here.
Yeah, Lexington, I guess, defensively was kind of awakened here. 9 minutes in is, you know, Watterson had that big rush the first 5 minutes, and they have another one here off the turnover.
Yeah, we got a 3-on-4. They're going to press it out wide, looking for Joey White.
Just too far, but what I was going to say before that, I guess the announcer jinx, but Lexington moving the play up towards midfield instead of playing back, and that's more of what we see from Lexington soccer there. They're playing more of the midfield and then opening up those lanes to get into the offensive zone.
Lexington never scared, though, to sit back and play defense. They do it so well. They'll funnel you to where they want the ball to go and just make it tough on your top guys.
Yeah, 12 shutouts. I mean, it's not only Weaver, 60, like you said, 66 saves now, but, you know, the defensive backfield for them, you know, really doing a solid job. Lexington only given up 2+ goals 3 times. 2 goals twice to Rocky River and Kenton, who's number 19 in the state, both ties, and then the district championship, the 20th ranked Ontario, which they won the move here.
Boy, Hammerly's having a great first 10 minutes. Though they take it away from him here. But back and forth we go. Nobody doing a great job of keeping a hold of possession right now.
Nice play on the ball there by the Minutemen.
But then
Get it
on
out
cue,
behind,
another giveaway. Nathan Kramer comes up with it.
You got to think maybe a little bit at the jitters by both sides. I mean, less on Bishop Watterson's side, but Lexington really, you know, like you said, a bit sloppy to start.
A lot of ways I think that I'd credit more good defense, good pressure. The engines are roaring in the midfield. Both sides right now, they got guys that are getting involved at 2 different levels of their midfielders. So coming back, defending well, making things tough. As Lexington, again, finding it tough to make that connecting pass and getting it closer to the box. Only done it once so far.
And I have a feeling once they just get settled in a little bit more, get a couple passes to their, finding feet. They start finding feet here. They'll get comfortable, get back into what they usually do. But Bishop Watterson making it really hard for them to do that.
Good looking pass in traffic right there for Hammerly. And now White somehow kept his balance. But Lexington awarded the free kick here off the foul. Haven't seen many fouls. Very few whistles so far tonight.
Yeah, that's the first foul of the match, I believe. As Hathaway, nice job by him to really seal off the offensive player and draw that foul.
Great touch by Depperschmidt to the wing, too, for Dan Elgin.
He'll get a throw in.
Off the throw-in here for Luke Roberts. Able to beat the tackle, but not the second wave. Again, stripped. Eagles defending well. This one just pinged up. It's going to stay in the field of play, right down to the feet of White.
Yeah, pass just out of reach, but, flipping the field right now is Bishop Watterson.
Hathaway through the midfield, trying to hook up with Potter, who's making a run now. But it won't matter. Spires in the midfield. Boy, these midfielders right now, the Eagles, they're winning a lot of the possessions in the 50-50 balls.
Yeah, they're really frustrating Lexington right now. And they're extending these passes down inside, backing Lexington up into their own end.
That one rolls all the way over the touchline. So it'll be a goal kick on the way for Weaver and company. No score if you're just joining us. About 13 minutes gone by. Lexington still looking for their first shot of the match. Have not generated any offense. And for the Eagles, boy, they came out smoking hot, blazing. Got a couple of quick triggers off on net, and since then, we've had this big battle. Back and forth we've gone. Possession has been at a premium at times, and nobody electing to take many shots.
Wow, what a strip.
Big takeaway. Maizano from the outside. Gonna flick it.
That's gonna be a corner. Momentum completely on Bishop Watterson's side. They're playing their game right now and really backing Lexington up. They're keeping Lexington off their game.
Quick ball in, Maizano.
Nutmeg.
Wow. Not sure how he was able to sink that one through by everybody. And then just not a good touch right there. Kramer was the closest target. Now here comes Lexington on the counterattack. This is where they're dangerous.
And another takeaway. Justin Doss stripped it away. Lexington finally got able to recover.
Nice ball there by Depperschmidt. Back to him on the outside. Everything just looks so challenging right now offensively for the Minutemen. Elgin settles at his feet, observes. And you see how quickly the Eagles are coming up and applying the pressure. There's just no breathing room for the Minutemen. Totally different from what we saw against Ontario, where they were able to get on the attack pretty much whenever they wanted, with the Warriors sinking back. And they got down a man, too, in that district championship and only had 10, so they had to defend a little bit differently. But, wow, a lot of credit right now. The Eagles' defensive back line and then those midfielders helping out defensively. They have been the stars so far.
And something we saw to start that possession at midfield, Depperschmidt was finally able to turn and look upfield to get the passes going, and that got them into their zone, got that offensive opportunity going at least. So that's something we can look forward to. If he can get turned some more, these Lexington forwards and midfielders can get turned and look upfield, it'll benefit them. But right now, Bishop Watterson's not letting them do that.
Depperschmidt's about the only guy out there connecting, finding feet. That one's lost by Hathaway. So it's going to give a throw-in opportunity for the Eagles, who are going to make a substitution here. I believe, is that the first one that we've had on either side?
Either first or second, but I don't think any Minutemen have come off. That might have been his second for Watterson, but...
This is Isaac Olin, who just checked in,
throw.
got a big throw, into the box, headed straight up, still in a danger zone. Swing and a drive there by Hammerly. He got a piece of it, but deflected, and it's into the hands of Weaver.
Another good opportunity by Bishop Watterson, set up by that deep throw-in.
And here it is. It's going to come down, take a hop, and there's a couple of Eagles still in the territory. There's the swing by Johnny Hammerly, and he gets a piece of it, but not quite enough. Eagles right back on the attack. This is going to probably be out for a throw-in.
Yeah, just beyond the flag.
So it's about as deep in the corner as you can possibly be. And again, why not bring Olin over? We saw he's
like
got
a
the strong
corner,
arm.
Yeah.
So a good angle for him. Just a whole mess, guys, in the box. Headed back and forth, and Weaver, boy, he's got the sure hands, doesn't he? Comes down with another one.
Yeah, that was, like we just said, just as good as a corner. He got it right into the middle of the box. They got a head on it, but Weaver was right there. Wasn't really blocked from viewing that header attempt and able to get the catch.
It was Starling coming back, playing some solid defense, got a head on it before ultimately the keeper came away to clear possession, and turnover here. Starling again playing some solid D. For the Minutemen, can they start connecting some passes that are going forward towards net? It's been really tough for them once they've been getting to about the football 25-yard line.
And you could hear head coach Chad Smith for Bishop Watterson, stay active, stay moving. And it's really prevented Lexington from getting any chances here. Can they have one here?
It leaks out for Depperschmidt. He observes. This kid just so absolutely electric when he gets possession, and he goes right at guys. Good-looking ball to the outside now from Maizano.
Oh, nice.
It looked initially like it was going to be a solid turn, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. He got it through the legs, but
ended up out of bounds over the end line.
Yeah, Lex able to recover. Nearly was a great offensive chance. We're going to have a foul there.
This one's going to go against Bishop Watterson.
Their second foul.
Depperschmidt comes in. It's a solid tackle by him, gets all ball, and then just pushed to the ground by Johnny Hammerly.
It's a good opportunity here for Lexington to get their men set up at the top of the 18. Let's see if they can get a solid free kickoff here and have something going for it.
Good looking driving ball. And that's the first time that the keepers actually had to come off his back line and make a play.
Yeah, not quite what Lexington wanted there. Probably wanted to get a little bit less off there to get maybe a head on it or something like that, but it's an easy save. Lexington with a foul, and now Watterson probably about the same spot will have a free kick themselves.
Just on the other side of midfield, Eagles are going to have a free kick. They've got
Sean Nyhus will take the kick.
And 6 guys fanned all across the football 15. This ball blistered over the top of everybody and rolls over the end line for a goal kick.
So both teams just overshooting what they wanted on those free kicks. Now Weaver will have a goal kick to start things off. Midway through the first, still 0-0.
Joey White gets a standing ovation as he checks out here for the Eagles. Stepping in for him, Mason Bermudez. Good-looking header that time by Potter to flick it forward.
Oh, great pass off the side.
Depperschmidt has shown such a great ability to find people in stride so far here in this match. But this is where Bishop Watterson has been phenomenal defensively. Lexington has gotten nothing going towards net.
That went quickly from a 3-on-3 to a 3-on-8. Bishop Watterson really quick to get back defensively and shut down any opportunity for Lexington on the offensive end.
Tough not to be impressed by this midfield of the Eagles. So active. Got some high motors going out there. And just everything for Lexington offensively is a struggle right now at this point, as that flick's intended for nobody in particular. So Weaver comes out, makes an easy play.
And you have to feel that the longer this goes for Bishop Watterson 0-0, the longer they have more offensive opportunities, it plays onto their side. Because you know if Lexington can get a goal or two here, they can then settle back and play their game. But Bishop Watterson, all the momentum right now.
The Minutemen were the team that came in with all the crazy defensive stats and accolades, giving up just a half goal per contest, whereas on the other side, almost 2 goals per game is what Bishop Watterson has given up on the season, though you do look at the early portion of the calendar for them where they gave up 6 in the season opener, 5 a couple of weeks later. Since then, boy, they've really settled in. And a big open look here.
And we got a foul. We're going to have a penalty kick.
So a game-changing penalty created by Potter. Another great look here on the CNG replay. And a lot of contact into the back there, pushed down by Alex Spires.
No, they called it a foul against Lexington.
Oh, wow. Wow, can we see that again? So Spires, it looks like, definitely has 2 hands in the back, but they are saying that the contact was made by Potter into the keeper, which is true, but it was because he was getting pushed. Tough call. And just when you thought maybe a game-changing penalty was going to favor Lexington, it ends the best scoring chances they've had so far.
And you're just talking about the defense there, but Watterson, got a little bit of luck there, help from that call.
And I don't know how you make that call against Gage Potter. If anything, that should be a no call, I suppose.
We saw something like that last night in the Madison match as well.
Great looking ball. Weaver had to come out, shielded off by an Eagle. So that takes a hop. Potter with the pressure. And wow, I thought he was actually going to get whistled for using his body to shield off number 25, Justin Dawes. But instead, works out in Lexington's favor.
I really like the play of Doss at the midfield thus far. Really, keeping Lexington from getting those extended passes out to get into the offense that they like to run. Speaking of that, Watterson doing what they want to do right now. Once again, back in the Lexington end.
Counterattack, though, comes to a close as Lex gets it out to Depperschmidt at the midfield. Big pressure taken away yet again.
And once again, 3-4 defenders quickly swarm around him to keep him from getting out in the open. This has been an entertaining match thus far. Sorry, Brian, but this is, back and forth defensive battle. It's like a chess match right now between the two.
Though that one's going to find some space out to the outside.
Nice
into
pass.
Potter.
Oh.
One-timer just blew it over the top. Got great contact on the ball. That was the best buildup that Lexington's had and took a fortuitous bounce out to the perimeter. Great setup for Potter, who just did miss this. This is a tough play on the run.
And you saw Potter clapping to his teammates. He's like, this is what we needed to do. We're getting a little bit of that momentum now. A couple offensive chances here in the last couple of minutes. Lexington kind of settling in. They're reading what Bishop Watterson is doing defensively. Now they're getting some open looks.
This is what you expect from veterans that have played high-level soccer, getting to the regionals 4 consecutive years like the Minutemen have. And now they are starting to settle in, and you see the creativity starting to flow as there's a few more holes and openings in this defense of Watterson than there was previously. The first 20 minutes, they were phenomenal.
And as you saw in the replay, the ball just bounced on Potter at the last second, creating that elevation. If it would have stayed on the ground when he kicked it, that's probably in the back of the net. But, that's the beautiful game right there. It's a matter of inches.
Potter, wow, look at
what a
footwork. Ripped away, though, by Spires. And now a clearance.
Oh, and a misplay.
Pressure there by Maizano.
And they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, it warranted a whistle. Got a little bit too physical. And, that's just a big dude out there when you're talking about number 8, Trent Maizano.
Yeah, it was a good effort by Nathan Kramer to really, keep him from getting away. It looked like he stole the ball away at the last second. Maybe a bit of a frustration, a little shove there, and they get the call. And the referee's really calling this close. 7 total fouls already, 4 for Watterson, 3 for Lexington. So, they're not letting this get away, and maybe that's because they saw what happened in the district championship for Lexington and in Ontario. They don't want that happening again.
That was a good-looking ball by Hathaway. A couple of options made themselves available. You see Potter just non-stop This guy is like centrifugal motion, Travis, just constantly going all the time, and that's why he's been so successful and why he's got all the accolades and probably more to come. We presume he's going to be a first-team All-Ohioan when they finally make that vote.
The last 5 minutes, we've seen Lexington completely flip the script. Most of the possession has been in their end, and just deflected off the side of the net on the throw-in. And it's going to be, it was deflected by Watterson. Lexington's going to have their first, that was almost an own goal.
Yeah, no question about it.
And this is Lexington's game here, the corner kick. You know, they've been able to score a lot on the set piece. We'll see if they can do it here.
Deborah Schmidt, so crafty here.
Nice bend.
The left foot, a little bit too far out. Played it probably 2 yards wider than he intended it. Had a lot of heads crashing in.
Yeah, played it just a little too far. I think he wanted the back post, but maybe 5 yards too strong for him. But Lexington's still applying that offensive pressure. They get the throw in.
This one whipped back into the field of play by Jacob Hathaway. It's going to be pushed back, heading the other direction momentarily. Now Kramer gets it to Husty. They bring it near side now with Roberts, but too much for the intended target, Starling. Hearing some words of encouragement from the Eagles fan section down here. Pretty decent crowd at Marion Harding tonight, and great weather for tournament soccer that we have on hand here.
Oh, good pass.
How about that in space? And
there
Potter
it is.
Puts it away at the 13-15 mark. It just felt like it was a matter of time. The momentum and the wave riding with Lexington, and they're going to take it right into the back of the net with their first-team all-district performer.
You felt in the last 5 minutes that Lexington finally had it going, and it was just a matter of time. And who else but Gage Potter to deflect it right off the foot of the keeper into the net, and the Minutemen strike first in a big goal for them to get some of that momentum back. Now they are in control.
How about the celebration? Can we get one more replay? I didn't see that in real time. This dude is a gymnast. I didn't even know it, and I thought he was just maybe flexing right there too, showing off the guns. How about Gage Potter? You know that he's got the foot skills. You know he's got the finishing ability, but did you know that he had the jump side flip in his game too, Travis? Check this out.
Ooh! I did not see that until just now. Wow.
That's the beauty of the charter. Next Generation Films replay. Awesome stuff right there for the senior Potter.
Update on the other regional semi. Shawnee leading 3-0 20 minutes in.
And I don't think that that is really any surprise. Lima Shawnee, a collision course this season, probably to see Lexington. Pete Tem told me last week before the district championship match that he had been texting back and forth with the head coach over there of Shawnee, talking about, hey, maybe we'll see each other yet again this year. For those Indians, that was the expectation for Lexington. They've kind of taken their game to a new level, and you see blossoming here in the regional. Awesome stuff right there. After a really slow start, they hung tough, Travis, and like we mentioned, it just felt like it was permeating to get to the point where Lex was going to start turning it on offensively, and here they are riding a huge run of momentum.
Lexington defensively bend but not break there the first 20 minutes or so. Allowed them to get settled in, allowed that offense to get settled in, find out what they needed to do to advance the ball. They finally did, and like we said, in the last 8 minutes, really applying the pressure offensively, and when you have Gage Potter continuing to go at the goal, you knew it was a matter of time, and he got it in. 1-0 Lexington, and now, they can play their game. And going back to that Shawnee match that Lexington won early on, 1-0, that was one of those indicators for the squad for themselves to say, hey, we're still good. We lost, we might have lost some major players from last year's squad, but we're Lexington. We played with them. We know what we need to do, and I think that win really catapulted them to where they are now.
Shawnee certainly was not the favorites to win. Lexington actually got to play on their home surface last year in the regional final, a game that I called, and that one just it went along, and everyone was just waiting and expecting Lexington to score. They never were able to, and then the Indians.
The tough penalty call.
The tough PK finish to win it.
And that sits with the team. Just the way it ended, you should have won. People saying, even some of us at the beginning of the year, that was their chance. That was their opportunity to make it to Map-Free Stadium. You didn't know what they had this year, so you might have thought that was the last opportunity for them. But, they just used that as motivation. They used that. They used the loss as motivation, and it has brought them back to a regional and in very good position here with 10 minutes left in the half, up 1-0.
That's what's so cool about this latest chapter of the Lexington Book of Boys Soccer is this team, unlike some of the previous years, Coach Tim on record said, I think I would have signed up for an 8-8 regular season if you would have gave me that option right at the beginning of the season, and especially after it started with them coming out 0-0 draws in their first 2 matches against Ontario and Ashland, 2 quality opponents, of course, and then they beat Lima Shawnee 1-0, and that's when things started going for them. The one loss against Bay came early.
Number 3 in the state, Bay, too.
Haven't dropped a game since, as they've been just a wrecking ball in tournament action, too. Big wins of 15-0, 13-0 in the sectional, 7-1 over Huron in the district semifinal before beating Ontario, their arch nemesis, 6-3 for the championship.
And something different this year, usually Lexington plays Bay in the regional round, but that got switched around. Bay, they're
last
taking
year.
on, yeah, last year. Now Bay's taking on Warren Howland in a regional semi. That's a huge matchup.
That could be a state championship game.
And it's actually snowing up where they're taking on Howland right now.
Oh, interesting. Our producer does not
up north.
like the sound
I just got
of that.
hit for no reason. About 50 miles north is where it's
just
that lake
the messenger.
effect. It's that lake effect stuff, all right? But nonetheless, those two facing off in a regional semi, that helps out Lexington because the winner of this would see one of those two in a state semifinal. So it gives them a little bit of an opportunity to get things going through the regional before seeing one of those state powers.
Because if you guys will recall, early on in Pete Thames taking over as head coach here, they were getting to regionals, and I think Bay beat them 3 times in a row when they did get there, but they were finally able to exercise that demon. And he talked to me about the fact that that helped a lot for their confidence, and I think that might be a reason why this team, this crew, this season is back in another position here in regionals, because they finally were able to get that gorilla off their back, and it kind of changed things for them getting to the state Final Four that year. Turnover looking for Depperschmidt. This one just slingshots down all the way to the other end in the hands of Weaver.
And, since the goal, Bishop Watterson, not that many chances in their offensive end. And I think it's Lexington able to withstand that first rush, and now they're getting into their game. Watterson was playing their type of soccer here for the first 25 minutes, and then Lexington, like I said, flips the script, and now they're playing their type of soccer. And Watterson, now we'll see, it's moves and counter moves. Can Bishop Watterson get some of that momentum back to start applying pressure once again to play their soccer and possibly, get that equalizing goal here before the half?
They got their big guns back into the match, Maizano and Hammerly, fresh off the bench. We'll see if they make an instant impact. Depperschmidt there, though, defensively to handle that one.
I just got colder thinking about snow now I was talking about it.
Seems to come quick once it starts, so...
Well, it's just 80 degrees, 2 weeks ago?
Ohio weather, baby. Mother Nature has a great sense of humor here in the Buckeye State. Always has us guessing. Just a quality back and forth right there. Defended well. Nice run by Lexington, too, who are just a fraction off. And that's what we've seen a lot of times so far during this first half. Just high-level soccer here tonight, folks. Bishop Watterson ranked 15th in the state. Lexington number 6 in Division II.
And this is what you'll see, throughout now. It's just quality soccer night in and night out. Maybe with the exception of a couple matches. I know, Shawnee's up 3-0 in their semifinal. But once you get to that regional championship level, the Elite 8, it's called Elite 8 for a reason. You have 8 elite teams coming in there, and you're going to have great matches, game in and game out.
It's just 6 minutes away from our Charter Next Gen halftime, where we will break down the first half stats, weigh in with a little bit of analysis, and then get you ready for the second. We'll also take a look at the scores from around the area, too. As we see here on the chat that we've got viewers from Maine. How about Linda Turlow? Thanks for tuning in. Trevor as well says, let's go Lex from Ohio U. And Patty, woohoo, nice goal. And it was a nice goal. And here's the guy who made it, drawing another whistle and picking up a penalty. So opportunity on the way here for the Minutemen as they're going to tee it up. Quickly look to get back on the offensive attack with Jacob Hathaway. And he's got a big leg. We'll see where he elects to drive this one. He's going to go back post. Didn't quite get enough of it to find the likes of Potter.
And I think it's because the first free kick he had from around there, he kicked a little too strong, took some of it off, but just took a little too much off of that one. You know, always, it's the rule of three, so too strong the first time, a little too soft the second time. You got to think he gets a third chance, it's going to be perfect.
That Goldilocks effect, we'll see if it works out when they get another free kick, but that's a good build-up.
Nice pass.
Offsides, though, was Maizano, and he was by a full step. The AR all over it. They'll bring it back to the football 10-yard line.
I believe that's the first offsides call of the match as well.
And look at Lexington defended it perfectly.
Ran back towards the ball last second, and no adjustment.
Off the restart, the deflection ends up at the feet of the Minutemen, and here's Kramer to the outside. A lot of pressure around Turlow.
3 Minutemen there to stop that, kick it out, allow the defense to set up as Watterson's going to make 3 substitutions.
Justin Daz back into the match along with Alex Spires. Dylan Brown, too.
So the 3 subs we saw earlier in this match coming back in now. Trying to get one last 4-minute rush.
And Lexington has not really countered much with substitutions of their own. They've stuck to about 11 guys so far here. Headed away by Depperschmidt.
We're seeing that defense pick it up a little bit more for Lexington. We're in the first 20 minutes. You know, Watterson might have had a good look at the net there. The second 20 minutes, Lexington not even giving them that chance.
Solid strike by Jackson Lamp to get the ball down here at this end into Eagles territory, and they got to backtrack again. This ball played down the near side. It's going to find Joey White. Whips it up top now.
That ball just out of bounds. It looked like Watterson was getting set up for the cross, but just across the line, Lexington will get a throw in deep in their end.
For the Minutemen with 2.5 minutes, I'm sure they would be happy to take a 1-0 lead into the break.
Stole the words right out of my mouth, Skeet. That was exactly what I was going to say, you know. Especially with the ball deep in your own end. Just want to maybe advance it, take some time off the clock. If you can get an open look at the net, hey, that's great. 2-0 is going to be amazing, but even 1-0, that's a big win for you after the start of this match, the way it was going.
Good-looking ball here for Potter.
Oh,
wow,
nice
crafty
pass.
play to Depperschmidt, but an even better tackle there. Taken away by Sean Nias.
Yeah, maybe a foot to the right, and that's an open look at the net, but that was a nice play.
This one lifted into the 18, and then Potter. Not a great-looking shot attempt. Had a defender in between him and the net. Punt taken with a head of steam. Husty. Look at Gage Potter. Boy, his recovery acceleration is just different.
And you know what? Depperschmidt was open there for a couple seconds off to the right side. Potter decided to go at the defense instead of maybe getting it over to him and opening things up. But Watterson able to, you know, get the foul and get possession out of there with 1 minute left in the half.
This one skies up. Possession available now. And a big ball going to be played deep into the box here by Dawes. Weaver comes out, makes the play.
Quick restart, too. Lexington with 48 seconds.
Depperschmidt holding his own. Now, great pressure takeaway by the Eagles. Can't do anything with it, though. So we're down under 30 seconds to go. Great first half of action. Eagles started so strong. Minutemen have ended strong.
Still some time. That's a big kick out of bounds. We come up on 10 seconds.
You know they're looking for Maizano all the way there. Turlo expecting it, broke it up. And
Smart
with that,
play.
that'll take us to the end of one. The difference right now, a Gage Potter goal. Lexington on top 1-0 here in the Division II Regional Semifinals. You're watching live and free boys tournament soccer exclusively on the OH Report.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Oh my goodness, what a catch!
trip to the Elite Eight up for grabs today in Division II. Bishop Watterson right now trailing Lexington at the break. 1-0 as the Minutemen get a big goal from Gage Potter. First team All-District OCC Offensive Player of the Year. And coming through again for his team tonight with his 28th goal of the season. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Brian Skoronsky, Travis Berardi with you. One shot on target. Found the target though, Travis. And in the beautiful game, that is the determining factor.
Well, it looked like Gage Potter earlier had a look at the net, but he fouled somewhat. It looked like he was fouled in the net, looked like a penalty kick, but instead he didn't get it. Immediately after he recovered, got the goal. That's the difference.
And it looks like maybe you haven't recovered from a run up the bleachers after going down trying to get you a hot dog. So we'll
I was trying to hide it, Ski, okay?
Catch your breath. I think it's pretty noticeable, Travis, here.
Okay, anyway. Bishop Watterson really controlled the first 20 minutes. It looked like they had everything going, the momentum on their way.
That's fair.
But that one Potter take to the net changed momentum. They didn't get the goal, but it really changed the side of the ball, allowed Lexington to set up their offense, get the goal, and from then on, they really took over, and that's why they had possession 52-48.
Yeah, whereas at the beginning of the match, you almost could say probably for the first 7 or 8 minutes that it was like 80% controlled by Bishop Watterson. They really came out, they had the run of play, but they weren't able to deliver quality looks on net. We just had them for probably one dangerous shot that they put on target, 2 total in that first half. So for the Minutemen defensively, they settled in and they started finding the creases more and more often offensively, working it through the midfield and getting it to their playmakers up top. And I understand that we've got an update on the other game going down, Travis.
Yes, Lima Shawnee, they were 3-0 20 minutes in. They got another one right before the half. They lead Sandusky Perkins 4-0 at the break. Winner of this one takes on the winner of that one somewhere in Ohio at some time on Saturday. And remember, Lexington defeated Shawnee 1-0 on August 28th. That really vaulted them into the winning streak that they had.
And like we mentioned last year in the tournament, though, it was the Indians that ended Lexington's season in the regional championship. So these are two teams starting to find each other when they get into tournament play. If they do match up again, I believe this will be the 3rd consecutive season that they will meet in the regional. So it's starting to become one of those rivalry games. You got some familiarity.
Yep.
That's actually now how they ended up on each other's schedules during the regular season, because they met in tournament play. So kind of coming full circle. And I'm sure for Big Lex, they would love another shot at Shawnee last year when you talked about it in that first half. That was supposed to be the team of destiny for the Minutemen last year. They felt like that was their best shot to get to state and maybe bring home the big trophy. Instead, for Richland County, it was the Madison Lady Rams. Lexington left on the outside looking in at Columbus, never even made the trip.
You have to think, if that loss doesn't happen, does this team have the motivation in the offseason to become the team they are now?
It's a fair question.
Yeah. You never know. Sometimes bad things turn into good. And that might be the case with this Lexington squad, who are 20 minutes away from, or 40 minutes away from, a possible rematch with Shawnee in a regional championship and that payback that they've wanted all year.
Those next 40 minutes will be right on the other side of this break. We'll return. Second half action on the way from the D2 Regional Semifinals at Marion Harding.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Back here at Marion Harding, Brian Skronsky alongside Travis Berardi, wanting to be amongst the first to wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving season, because
It's not Christmas yet,
it's
folks.
not quite here, guys. Put some respect on Thanksgiving. That's what we're doing here on our broadcast tonight with the beautiful bumps created by our very own graphic designer, Jory Hollenbeck. So we appreciate that you out there would appreciate Thanksgiving along with us. Great holiday.
And you know what else we appreciate? We appreciate those fans in Australia and Ireland watching in the middle of the night. I've been to Ireland once when I was in high school. Beautiful, beautiful place. Kissed the Blarney Stone. That's why I talk so much now. You know, you can't get me to stop talking most of the time if you watch the podcast
This is true.
or the pigskin. But it's great that we can get international viewers watching live and free right here on the OH Report, unlike some other places where you have to pay.
And we wish that we could bring in, we only have the capability to show the Facebook comments and the conversation that's going on there. It's red hot fire over in YouTube town.
A lot of comments.
Let's take a look here real quick as we got Aaron Brown cheering on Big Lex. So is Trevor. Who else we got out here?
Christina Thompson, go Lexington. Heard we also have people from Kansas City and Oklahoma watching tonight.
Viewership all over the country and then even overseas for high school soccer in the Buckeye State. So cool to have all of you along with us here to see if Lexington can get back to the regional championship for a third consecutive season.
You know, just talk about Kansas City. It makes me want some barbecue right now, Brian.
Well, I feel like that's the case probably at any time of any day, even when Kansas City's not brought up, but I appreciate that that would funnel the thought back into your brain that barbecue's pretty darn good.
It is.
And it's past barbecue season now, too.
Yeah,
So you're right, you know, kind of the mood changes. Yeah. We're more looking to, you know, get into some fall flavor and some different dishes.
Oh, I know you're a soup guy. You probably like your little tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich during the winter and fall
I definitely
seasons,
do.
But, you know,
You know
doesn't?
me.
Who doesn't, though?
A nice red pepper. Always have that on the menu. And how can you go wrong with chicken noodle?
Quick start by the Minutemen here to start the second half.
That's a good-looking ball to the middle for Potter. Puts his back into it. Now plays it out wide for Depperschmidt, who waited on it. He's going to load up the
What a
shot.
save.
Pushed over the top.
Take a look at the replay. Nice job by the keeper, cutting that off, knocking it out of bounds. Lexington will get a corner. You know what else? Soup really helps the throat out. You know, we do a lot of talking, commentating. Helps that out as well.
Yeah, I take care of myself. Travis, wow. Crafty play.
Just off the leg of the keeper.
I believe that was Jackson Husty who came in, got a nice piece of it.
Quick restart.
It's going to be headed up, but right back into the mix there by Husty. Doing some quality work here, and now Hathaway launches one. Depperschmidt timed it up, and that one hop into the hands again. The goalie doing big things here in between the pipes.
Just watch the replay. Got a foot on it, but the keeper able to adjust and get the deflection.
Get a kick save.
3 quick shots on target by Lexington to start the second half.
Now Watterson turns it over, but they get possession right back. Brown moves it to the outside. Now they'll work it out to Joey White.
That's going to be a corner for Watterson.
And after Lexington got into the attacking third right away, now Watterson flipping the scripts, and they're going to have a corner on the way. Eagles looking for an equalizer. Driven in, front post. Pushed out of there by Lexington, at least momentarily.
Oh, it just stayed in, barely.
Now here comes the counterattack. Hussey got by the defender. Or actually, that was Starling, rather.
You saw two defenders right on the hip of Gage Potter there.
With them stride for stride, obviously they got to key on Gage in those type of situations. We're able to do that.
Because if he gets into open space ahead of everybody, about 90% of the time that's in the back of the net.
Just too gifted and too good of an athlete. Sometimes he can be a bit of a bull in a china shop too. I love when the ball just gets launched down at the other end and they say, hey, just go make a play, and he'll give up his body, go push guys out of the way, try to bring down possession.
Yeah, that's the type of player you need if you want to make a big run, and we got a yellow card against Bishop Watterson. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe a little something he said possibly, but
this definitely feels like it wasn't anything that took place during the action, but Alex Ferguson is going to pick up a yellow card for something that he verbalized to the referee. So he's going to have to check out as Chad Smith gets an explanation.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a collision out there at midfield before it went out of bounds. Maybe, looking for a foul at that point. But nonetheless, he's off to the sidelines for the moment, and we're about to resume play. Watterson does have possession on the throw-in.
While we've got a second, I want to give a quick thank you to our sponsors that help bring us tonight's broadcast live and free to you folks, including Mechanics Bank. That's better. And Charter Next Generation Films, they are now hiring and paying some quality wages. So if you're out there looking for a job, Charter Next Gen, always expanding in the Richland County area, and they've got some awesome availability right now for employment. Check them out at cnginc.com.
Have you seen their new facility over in Ontario? It's just
beautiful.
The old GM plant, a lot of space, and they're just opening things up there. It's looking really nice. Good for them, too. That's some prime real estate that they took.
And this push right there into the back of the Minutemen goes against Hammerly. Collision there with Elgin, who probably sold it a little bit. But that's part of the job, too. If you're going to be a standout soccer player, you have to take at least a couple of acting classes. It's important, Travis, to know when to give up the body and to get the whistles. So for anybody that discriminates about that and calls them floppers, hey, if it gets the call, who cares?
It's an unwritten part of the game. I mean, LeBron does it all the time, doesn't he?
Amen to that. James Harden hasn't been quite getting the whistles this year. It seems like at least the NBA officiating changing a little bit. But that's, I guess, neither here nor there. Let's get it back onto the pitch. And it's a good pressure on the outside here by the Minutemen, and I think a bit of a frustration foul.
He even raised his head immediately. That's Isaac Olin, who, he said, yeah, that's my bad. Went over, gave a 5 to the Minutemen offensive player, Lucas Starling, and, we play on. Sportsmanship right there.
So from the football 38, big ball comes down for Depperschmidt.
Nice.
Almost an athletic play to come away with possession, and now Lexington will. Hussey puts it out there for Depperschmidt. And it looked like he might have just been a shoestring off. That was close. Alex Depperschmidt just has not been able to shake loose like we saw in the district championship, where he had a hat trick and earned our MVP of the game.
He got a little too excited on that. Finally saw an opening, something he hasn't seen much tonight, and just a little early on the start. That's a nice defensive play.
Great looking tackle, and it could lead to a counterattack. Potter's got some space to the top. First touch wasn't great, lost possession.
That was a nice play by Alex Spires. You know, keeping him on the sideline, finding the right opportunity to strip the ball away.
Now the Eagles do it again. Hammerly moving the ball forward. Now White taken away again. So we're seeing, I think, just quality defense here. And the offense is having trouble catching up at times. A lot of good pressure, some great tackles too.
And Lexington, they can be content doing that now with the 1-0 lead. Just, keep moving towards your offensive end. It runs time off the clock. Gives you another opportunity, while Bishop Watterson really hasn't had an opportunity since that corner kick early on in the half.
Long way to go here in the Division II regional semifinals. 33.5 minutes. What remains here in regulation. Lexington trying to get back to the regional championship for the third consecutive season, and for Bishop Watterson, this is their first time making it out of the round of districts since 2014. So none of these players for the Eagles have ever experienced the regional level before, while everybody on Lexington's team has been involved in regionals all 4 years if you're a senior.
And that experience is going to be huge here in the last 33 minutes. You know what you need to do with the lead in a regional. For the other end, Bishop Watterson, nobody's played here. They haven't been in this situation in their careers to where they need to get that goal to keep their season alive.
Coach Chad Smith was a part of the team several years ago, left for a few seasons. Now he's back. Some of his previous squads he was a part of back in 2014, so he said at least the coaching staff has this big game experience, and they knew what to expect coming into tonight's game, and we talked about it a bit in the pregame as that's a good-looking ball. Starling heads it out wide.
Just beyond the reach of Starling.
Or Potter, rather, with the head for Starling.
But yeah, this is a Watterson team that back in 2014, they were the underdogs throughout sectionals, districts, regionals.
Certainly.
Only 4 wins, and they made it to a state semifinal and took the eventual state champs to the wire, losing 1-0 in a state semi.
Back-to-back headers now down at the feed here for Hammerly. And that ball could have been dangerous in the middle from Maizano, if not played so well by Lex, by Nathan Kramer.
Back and forth here. And we're going to get a foul on Lexington. Patrick Turlow, go Lex. Captain Barney, U.S. Coast Guard retired in Benton, Maine. Captain, well, thank you for watching. That was the first foul against Lexington in the second half.
And a lot of cries here from the cheering section of Bishop Watterson, wanting that foul. Also wanted another one there on the 2 guys jumping up for that free ball. So I think the level of physicality picking up a little bit here in the second half, and certainly I know that the fans, they tend to turn it on the deeper and deeper that you get into the competition, certainly at this level.
And you got to realize the referees, they're not going to call every single call, especially here in a regional. That you shouldn't just do that. It just shuts down. It doesn't allow either team to really get a flow going if every single foul is called here. If it's 50-50, more likely than not, if it's nothing serious, the referees are not going to call it. They're going to allow the flow of the game to continue.
We saw just in a match last night right here at Marion Harding where a big call in the second half changed the entire workflow of the game, allowed a penalty kick, and what went from a 0-0 game went to 3-0 really quickly. So that's why I think these officials have done a nice job so far here tonight. Oh, big throw. Going to find its way down to the feet
wide
of the ever so dangerous Maizano. And the Central District Player of the Year could not keep it on target. Good pressure right on his hip, but somehow found its way to his feet, as you see here on the Charter Next Gen replay.
Just couldn't get around the ball enough to get it on net. Sealed off the defender, had the open look, but just off right there. Watterson's best chance here in the second half offensively. You all right over there, Brian? You good? Yeah.
Just trying to pick up some papers off the ground, and with these gloves that I have on, it just felt like my athletic ability with my fingers was not with me at the time, so it took me about 5 different tries, Travis, but I'm back up and ready for the rest of this match.
That was the rustling that you heard in the background, folks, but at least it's not snowing like it is in the Howland Bay match down here. That's just a little too much for me right now.
Yes, solid soccer weather here tonight for this regional semifinal. That's going to draw a whistle on Jackson Husney.
Good football weather because, we got a big schedule coming up this weekend as well.
Going to have 6 football live streams for you folks on Friday and Saturday nights.
And possibly a volleyball championship on Saturday. We got a volleyball championship tomorrow that we'll tell you about here the next big break that we get. Update, Bay and Howland scoreless at the break, at the half.
Oh, wow.
Just wide again.
What an opportunity right there for Trent Maizano.
So this is the direct opposite of what we saw in the first half. Lexington controlled most of the play in the first half, the first 20 minutes here, but now Bishop Watterson flipping the script, and now they're getting some offensive looks. Can they finally cash in here and tie this thing up, or can Lexington still, with that bend but not break defense thus far, continue to hold them out of the net?
You certainly like the way that the Eagles are trending right now, able to find their big weapon on a couple of occasions, Maizano. So for a guy like him, you feel like, just like we did in the first half with the Minutemen, it's a matter of time. If he keeps getting looks and you can connect with him, eventually he's going to make the most of it. But right now, he's had the back-to-back plays in the last 3 minutes. Big opportunities, was not able to cash in at this level. Once you get looks that clean, sometimes it can kill you if you don't capitalize.
And that can get into your head as well. It's just nothing's going right for you. Maybe you get a little hesitant on shooting later down the line, but hopefully he keeps that mindset of, I just got to keep shooting at the net. One of these times it's going to go in. I mean, soccer just as mental as other sports when it comes to that. It's just not physical, taking the ball away, shooting it on net. You got to have, you have your mind in it too.
I would argue almost more so than a lot of other sports, because in the beautiful game, it's one of those where you can have 50 shots on net and not make any of them. Your opponent can have 1 and put it away, and you're going to lose the match despite dominating. Happens all the time, as that one's unleashed from outside by Husty. But it kind of takes a turn here, as you're going to see to the right, off target.
4th shot by Lexington here in the second half, matches their first half total, and only half the time. That'll be a throw-in for Watterson.
Big pressure there by Elgin. That one flicked forward off the head of Maizano. Nobody available in the midfield, though, because that's his spot. And actually, it looks like Trent's moved to more of a left winger right now.
They'll have a chance to set up an offense here with the throw-in.
And certainly number 8 has been the target.
Double
such a big
teamed at
body.
the moment too.
They don't care. Still looking for him in traffic. He's won a lot of these battles so far here in this match.
I like that play, throwing it in at him, make everybody, collapse down on him. Maybe he gets a head out to an open player at the top of the 18 and get a chance.
Mason Bermudez with a good-looking throw, and again he finds his target on time, but the header sails wide once again. So the 3rd shot that Maizano's been able to get, all of them off target here over these last few minutes. But they're getting it to him.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's getting shots now, which is a big plus for Bishop Watterson.
And for the Minutemen, the offensive attacking third has been kind of lonely for them here over the last several minutes in this stretch. They have not been able to get many clean looks, not even in a counterattack. And that whistle going against the Eagles, though, so this perhaps gives them an opportunity to flip the field, start getting some bodies forward.
I mean, with the 1-0 lead, it's okay right now for Lexington to not get a lot of offensive look, but the bad thing is that Bishop Watterson, the play isn't controlled at midfield. It's being controlled in Lexington's end. Lexington would more like, if it was back and forth, to be more towards the 50 than anything else if they don't have a chance.
That ball is loose. As the lane opened up, the keeper came out. And it's going to end up with the Eagles, who wisely just throw it in as fast as they can, and it's going to end up with Maizano. Wow.
There were a couple Minutemen trying to, contest the non-call there. I like how Watterson just quickly tried to throw them off and get going. That's going to be offsides.
Yeah, what a sequence we just saw there. Bermudez was offside before he whipped that header. Eagles got from one end of the field to the other in about 7 seconds.
They caught Lexington on their heels there. Thankfully, there were about 3 or 4 defenders that realized what was going on, were able to get back. That could have been bad.
There is Chad Smith, who got his team back here into the regionals. First time in 7 seasons. This has been definitely a quality opponent that Lexington has faced here. I think there were some question marks about what type of team would the Minutemen face here tonight. Haven't seen Bishop Watterson yet this season on the OH report, and they're checking a lot of the boxes, man, of what a quality team looks like. Just very few are able to breach the armor of this Lexington D. It's tough.
And for whoever comes out of this match with a victory does nothing but benefit them as they go on, because a tough test early on, if you're able to win that early on in the tournament, it just gets you ready for what's to come in the next couple of rounds. And the battle-tested ones, more likely than not make the bigger run in the tournament. So this is a great opportunity for whoever comes out of this with the victory moving forward.
Bermudez with the throw. And this one's going to be volleyed over the top by Spires. So it'll set up a goal kick here for the Minutemen.
There's a lot going on there in the last couple of minutes.
I think that the Eagles were suggesting perhaps that there was a handball previously. I think it would have been against Husty.
And that was right inside the box, too, so.
Could have been a big call. But incidental. I think it was more kind of off the upper arm area, too, so not necessarily a handball. As that's definitely going to be going against Caden Davis, as Depper Schmidt pushed down to the turf as he tried to make his turn. And now Potter.
Unable to get turned, though. Nice defense by Bishop Watterson. They get the strip.
Heading back the other way. Maizano lost it, but it ends up at the feet of Weiss. Now here's Depperschmidt with a little bit of room. And Potter elects not to make a run here as it leaks out of play. And Jordan quickly again with a throw-in for Hammerly.
I don't know how many people out there watch this show Ted Lasso, but Ted Lasso doesn't really understand what an offsides call is. I don't understand what is a handball call, because it goes up. You can go up the arm and still get a handball call. I'm still confused on what is and what isn't a handball.
I think the full forearm in the hand is all considered part of a handball, unless it's
on your sides. I mean, if you reach out for it, does it count? These are questions that.
Yeah, certainly if you reach for it, it makes it a little more noticeable to the referee. If you keep your arms in tight, kind of an innocuous play that'll bounce off of your forearm, sometimes you can get away with, but not always.
The more you know.
Seen some nice throw-ins by Bermudez. That one, again, at least it finds itself down inside the box. Lexington wisely punches it out of bounds.
Hopefully that helped all you over 300 watching learn a little bit more about the beautiful game.
I'm going to have to watch me some Ted Lasso someday.
It's a very good show. Wow! Oh! Biggest save of the game doesn't even come from the keeper.
Game changer right there, as Weaver had to come out to make the stop. And in comes Terrence Corbin.
Yeah, the sophomore. Biggest play possibly of the season for Lex.
That one's launched straight up, headed back into the box. Jack Depperschmidt with the header. Chaos right now, just outside the 6. Weaver standing tall. And here he comes out to make the save. What a sequence.
Huge sequence. What presence of mind for Corbin to see his keepers outside of the goalie area, outside the 6. He backs in. He turns pretty much into the goalie, heads it away, and keeps Bishop Watterson off the board.
Championship play there by Terrence, who has it right there. Great find, Potter, who gets blasted and didn't pick up a whistle, though. Wow, that must have been a clean tackle. Official was right there.
And see what a play like that does for Corbin. He's really picked up his game here in the last 30 seconds, clearing the ball out twice.
And you see that in a lot of different sports. I think basketball would be the most equal equivalent, where sometimes you make a nice defensive play and then you come down on the offensive end with just a little bit more energy, and we saw that here from the Minutemen. Got a little overzealous, though, with the pressure and the tackle there, so it draws a foul, and Sean Nias got it teed up from the football 42, looking to drive this one into the box. 6 players make a charge here for the Eagles.
And they get ahead on it. They do, but it's the wrong way.
Settled at the feet, but taken away from Hammerly.
And that's going to be a card.
This is going to be a yellow card, no question. Isaac Golan, not a very liked call by the Eagles fans.
That was a hard slide into Potter.
Engage a bit shaken up there. That's why you wear shin guards, folks. Just went right through him. Did catch a piece of the ball, but it was a hard tackle.
Was that his second yellow?
Don't remember if he was the player who got...
No, it was a foul earlier. It was a foul earlier on him that I said with good sportsmanship. It wasn't called. It wasn't a yellow there, though.
Yeah, actually, I believe, ironically, the gentleman who just checked in for him, Alex Ferguson,
yes,
might have got the yellow earlier for the chatter back and forth.
Yes, that is correct. I'm glad that didn't happen because it's just tough in a situation like this. But no, he's still in the match.
Nice ball flicked forward for Depperschmidt, who has just had all sorts of problems tonight with this Eagles defensive line, has not been able to turn and get into his creative space and ability like we've seen throughout the season. They've done a nice job of limiting Alex Depperschmidt tonight.
The crowd wants
the crowd over here,
from some
they
hands.
want to foul on everything right now. They're getting a bit over the top, but sometimes you can influence the officials and the referees, so bring it on. It's part of the game.
Four players back there for Bishop Watterson really kept Lexington from getting a good shot off. Can I get the counter going here?
Eagles whip it up to the top now.
They'll get the throw in. Looks like Lexington about to make a rare substitution.
They'll have to wait until they get possession back. And Mason Bermudez been really active with the throw-ins here lately, and he puts good pace behind it. Another bullet pass makes its way into the box. Almost found its target. Now here he comes in with a one-timer, set it up, but cannot find its way on net.
There is the Lexington substitution.
Joey White also checks in on the other side for Bishop Watterson. Starting to get down to the wire here. Money time, as we call it on the OH report. 16.5 minutes. Who will move on, survive, advance to the Elite Eight? Minutemen want to get there for the 3rd straight season. Watterson back in regionals for the first time since 2014. Would love to continue their journey, but got to get the equalizer at some point to do it. Right now, Lexington defending well, but the Eagles have been generating some chances.
Yeah, this is looking like the first 20 minutes of the first half. Big chance there, but kicked away by Kramer.
It was a nice recovery by Nathan to come over, charge in, and take it away, as it looked like there was going to be 3 Eagles all running towards net.
Andrew Laurie checking in for the Minutemen. And he was in on that play, as it's going to be a goal kick. Score in the 57th minute. Bay leading Howland 2-0.
What a match that is in the regional semifinals. It's a little early. Two great teams. But sometimes that's just how the positioning works its way out, where two teams potentially that you think have the ability to play for a state championship, as the freshman keeper has to come out in tough position there.
Yeah, those are the plays that make you nervous as a fan.
The lob for Maizano. He's able to control. Wow, what a play. Nifty to keep it in bounds somehow.
And I think they said it was out of bounds.
It was one heck of a play just to even keep it somewhat borderline inbounds for as long as he did. Couple of headers now down at the feet of Hammerly. Still making his run.
Oh, nice slide tackle.
Huge defensive effort once again by Kramer. Comes sliding in again. And now busted up by Jack Depperschmidt. And there, a big differential. Shawnee looks like that's going to be the opponent of whoever wins tonight.
6-0. Well, they have that one well in hand. Well, these two still 13:46 left in a 1-0 match.
Battling it out right now. The difference in the game. Gage Potter, a first half goal for the Minutemen. The equalizer, could it be on the horizon here for Watterson? Or will Lex get on to the regional finals again?
And it was right after a play that you thought he was going to get a penalty kick. Turned into being a foul on him. You thought, oh, maybe that was the one chance Lexington would have in the half. But he answered immediately and got the goal. So that's another nice slide into the ball, knocked out of bounds.
Zach Turlow right there with that tackle. That one's going to skip and stay inbounds right at the feet of Jordan Valles, but he lost control. Fans over here asking for an illegal throw before it is even thrown in. So you got to
find
parents.
any way to get a chance to get back into this match, get a chance to tie things up.
Oh, Maizano heads it down to himself. See if he loads up. Instead, he flicks it. Backside, the cross. Ooh. Rifled right through in front of the 6.
The 7th shot by Watterson tonight, but before the shot, who else but Terrence Corbin once again making a big defensive play.
He had arguably the largest play of the match up to this point.
Has to be at least a nominee for player of the game, Brian. I know, Gage with the goal, that's the difference right now, but that header right at the goal line, that's been a difference as well. Nice job by Alex Depperschmidt to just flick it out of bounds. Let Lexington reset their D.
See the double team coming at Maizano as soon as he touches it, forces a giveaway.
Not giving him any room to get turned, to get faced to the goal. He did have that string of 3 straight shots on net within about a 4-minute difference. But after that, Lexington's really keyed up on him.
Now I think maybe we'll get a delay of game against Alex Depperschmidt. It looks like we will. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. He went and picked up the ball when it was the Eagles and wouldn't give it away. I think that's the right call right there.
I agree. I agree with it, Whistle blows, you just got to put it down. You knew it was possession for Watterson, and
so he's going to have to check out at least for a couple of seconds here. Imagine he'll get right back over to midfield and check in, and that seems to be the case.
Third card tonight.
Andrew Laurie who's going to come into the game. Depperschmidt getting a quick drink as Vise throws it inbounds. Got his target.
Well, he got turned, but Lexington was there.
Cross was driven in low and got deflected. Now here's Potter coming back all the way to the defense.
Looked like Gage Potter actually lost his shoe there for a second.
3 straight Lexington touches, and now off that header up for grabs.
The header might have not have done too much, but he was able to flick it further away from the net.
Antry with a big ball, paddled way up. And now Corbin.
Great pass.
Shoots it into space for Potter. Whoa, what a great play taken away at the last second.
One of the best counter opportunities Lexington's had all night, but an even better defensive play. Under 10 to play. This has a regional championship feel to it, Brian, just the way these two teams have played tonight.
High-level soccer from start to finish so far. Imagine that we're going to be in for a really fun 9.5. Maizano, good step by Depperschmidt to get there first.
Yeah, nonchalantly, too. He just, casually made it up right there, read where the ball was, and kicked it away.
Eagles finding feet, but then shipped away by the Minutemen, who still have not checked Depperschmidt back into the match.
That'll be a Watterson throw-in, so he'll have to stay on the sidelines for a little bit longer.
Quick throw-in to Joey White to the middle of the field. Now Spires sends it out to the wing. This is driven and Weaver.
So close.
Got there first. Maizano was crashing in right behind.
8th shot, 3rd on net. Here in the second half.
Take one more look on the Chutter Next Gen replay. This ball just cracked right across the middle, but Weaver makes a nice break out. Brown surveys, tries to fully reverse field. Heavy touch there by the Minutemen. Keeps possession back with the Eagles and Spires, who gives it up now. Alex attacking, nice carry.
Ooh. Yep. That was after the ball had been kicked. A little bit of a collision. That's a foul on Watterson. 5th foul of the second half.
Nathan Kramer got his legs taken out from underneath him. Up with a little bit of a grimace.
Time becoming a factor for Bishop Watterson now.
But here is Kramer on the fly. Ends up right back at his feet. Good ball to the middle.
Nice counter opportunity.
It's played behind Maizano. If it was out in front, such a big body, you almost count on him to get a piece of it.
Now a foul on Lex. Another opportunity here on the free kick.
Niaz uncorks one. Skips right into the hands of Weaver. Boy, he's got big hands. See just how easily he's able to palm that ball. He's so solid. That's why he's looking for yet another shutout here tonight.
Lucky number 13. Finally, Depperschmidt able to check back in.
As will Mason Bermudez on the other side for the Eagles. As you look at one of the heroes of the match so far for the Minuteman, Terrence Corbin, arguably made the biggest play that we've seen here tonight. Backing up his goalkeeper and taking one that was clearly going to find its way into the back. Out.
That's going to go off a deflection from Lexington. Bishop Watterson continuing to apply pressure here. I don't remember the last time Lexington had a good offensive opportunity here.
And that headed towards net. How about Weaver coming off of his line? Huge collision there with Dylan Brown. Boy, this one just absolutely whipped. Great header.
Weaver's been standing on his head here in the second half.
Weaver has been phenomenal here tonight. Keeping a clean sheet so far for Lex, who does get it out to Depperschmidt. And as he has all night, finding a lot of defenders as soon as he tries to turn the corner.
That's off Lex.
And you know what they're going to do, bring over their weapon in Mason Bermudez for the big throw.
Can Bishop Watterson break through? They've had the pressure, they've had momentum here in the second half, but they still trail.
Lobs this one.
Ooh.
Into heavy traffic there.
And smart play just to kick it as far as you can out.
Yeah, Spires was able to get one touch on it. Couldn't get it going towards net, though.
4 minutes left.
Lexington in full defensive mode here, just trying to survive the struggle, this onslaught of the Eagles. And again, they're able to get it clear.
Winner of this one will play on Saturday somewhere in Ohio at some time in the afternoon against Lima Shawnee. Most likely Lima Shawnee. They lead 6-0 right now in the second half against Perkins.
I think we can put that one in the books.
Got to think maybe I don't know, Clyde. Is it going to be at Lexington again? Who knows if Lexington pulls it off. We'll find that out tomorrow.
Dangerous throw again, but Weaver tracks it. Goes high, makes the save.
Like a wide receiver at the top of his jump catching that.
And just like a stud wideout making a catch over the middle, sometimes you're going to get busted in the midsection.
Yeah, I think he might have fallen on the ball as well. Wind knocked out of him.
Boy, but Garrett has been sharp. Definitely a nominee for player of the game tonight.
Yeah. Under 3 left to go.
And that one's going to sneak its way by everybody back into the hands of Garrett Weaver.
That's a smart play by that Lexington back line. They'll just let it go, get it to Weaver. He can run time off the clock before kicking it. Oh, great advancement there.
Oh, the header by Depperschmidt just took kind of a nasty hop on him. Now Potter turns, had space.
Oh, and
pushes it forward. Thought Depperschmidt would make a run and looked like maybe he started cramping there in his back hamstring. You hope at least that that's the case and that it wasn't something that he felt like it pulled. Definitely reach for it.
I think Depperschmidt with more of a little bit defensive-minded play there. Instead of advancing it, stayed back. Could have been a good opportunity for Lex.
Now a giveaway in the midfield by the Eagles, who are starting to run out of opportunities.
Oh, big play there by Potter.
And he gets called for the foul. If anything, I thought that might go against Sean Nice. You see Potter definitely hurting a little bit, reaching for his left hamstring. You certainly hope that it's not going to be a case where he gets hurt. And another collision here. This is going to go against Starling. So all the whistles favoring Bishop Watterson. And
Potter They actually, as he got tripped and fell to the ground, he wrapped his arm around trying to catch it, and that's what the referee called.
Huge opportunity with 65 seconds left. Back post, Weaver comes out, one-timer. Out wide with the Eagles, back in the box, and it's slung shot out by Alex Stepperschmidt. Make it Jack.
Big throw incoming here.
Bermudez puts it into the 6, and Weaver comes up over the top like a star wideout.
His biggest save of the night, Brian, under a minute left, coming up on 30 seconds.
This one just lofted, trying to change the field. Stepperschmidt brings it down to his feet, runs into a defender. Now headed forward. Maybe the last opportunity Bishop Watterson's going to have.
If I'm Lexington, I'm just kicking this as far as I can down towards the Watterson net.
White tried to bring it out wide to Maizano, and they did just what you asked for, Travis. The Minutemen moving on to the regional championship for the third consecutive season. Gage Potter's goal, the difference here tonight, and how about the shutout? Number 13 of the season for Garrett Weaver and his defensive back line.
Whew! You got to hand it to Bishop Watterson, Brian. First time in a regional since 2014, but they played like they've been here the last 4 years, just like Lexington. That was a great match. This should have been a regional final, a state semifinal. I mean, that was the type of emotion played by both sides tonight. What a match. Lexington, though, one goal more than Bishop Watterson to move on.
So they just announced that the regional final will be back here at Marion Harding, 11 a.m. on Saturday. Lima Shawnee versus Lexington. I think it's going to be the third straight year that those two teams have met in the regionals. What a treat that's going to be.
It's a great venue for it as well. I mean, Marion Harding has been great last night for the girls' regional semi, tonight for this one. Might as well play it again. Play the whole bracket out through here to see who goes to a state semifinal. But hey, hats off to Lexington. They did what they needed to do. They withstood the rush for the first 20 minutes by Bishop Watterson. Potter able to do what he has done all year in the 27th minute with the tie-breaking goal, and then Lexington playing defense, shutting out the Eagles and getting the victory.
We're going to step aside and take our last commercial break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with our Charter Next Gen player of the game. We'll have to decide who that is, so drop us a line. Let us know on the Facebook and YouTube chat. Who do you think is worthy of being our MVP of the night? We'll also get some interviews with some other players as well and see if we can't get Peter Tem for a quick comment. So keep it here. Our CNG postgame will roll along right after this.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
at Harding with our Charter Next Generation MVP. Let's take it down to the field to Brian for it.
Back now with Garrett Weaver, our Charter Next Gen Player of the Match, keeping a clean sheet yet again here. Another shutout for you guys here in the regional semifinals. Talk to me about the defense tonight and then what you were able to bring to the table to ensure that there was that goose egg at the end of the night.
Yeah, our defense didn't quite do what we wanted in the first half. I feel like we kind of let a couple through, but, Watterson's got a really good offense. They attack really well. They're sharp, they're fast, and they caught us on our heels a couple times, but first half we got through, and we got a good goal that put us up, and we were able to hold that until the end of the game.
Playing from in front, how valuable is that for this team given how good you've been defensively all season?
It's a little bit tough. I mean, towards the end of the year we kind of put together our offense, we put together an attack, but I feel like we're still a pretty defensively minded team, and that's something that I'd prefer. It's easy to say, but yeah.
13 shutouts for you now on the year. Where do you think most of that credit will go? Obviously, you were fantastic, and then your back line has been good with Deborah Schmidt, the OCC Defensive Player of the Year, but where do you credit a lot of what success you guys have tasted back there?
I'd say my back three. Terrence Corbin, our right back, he's really young, but he's really good. He's consistent. Same thing with Jack and Jacob. They're the older guys. They're just leading us from the back. And Nate Kramer plays CDM. He really comes through anytime that we're kind of hurting in the back. And, we feel like they might have a chance to score. He comes out of nowhere and always kind of saves us. So I really give it to my back line more.
And you older guys, you seniors, you've been to regionals every single season. Does the feel now just become like commonplace at this point where you're ready for these big challenges and these matches against quality teams?
For the program, I'd say yeah, but for us as individuals, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, tournament season is always a little bit scary, exciting. You never know. I mean, teams can get upset by smaller teams, if you will, ranking-wise. But, you never know what you're going to get. So, always coming out attacking first. So, never being comfortable with anything.
Well, we know what you're going to get in the regional championship, and that is a rematch with Lima Shawnee. Again, you're going to be matching up with the Indians. Have you thought much about last season's match, and has that motivated you guys to make another deep run?
Absolutely. I mean, the medals we got last year, I see them every day, and all I can think is I'm not settling for that this year. And Lima's on the back of my mind, and now they're slowly shifting to the front. And, yeah, we're hyped up. We're ready to take it back at them.
All right, 8 saves for this guy here tonight. He was dynamite. That's why he's our Charter Next Generation Films Player of the Match. Garrett Weaver, congratulations. You want to give any shout-outs? We had a bunch of people watching from all over the planet tonight. Who do you want to thank or say hello to?
I want to say hey to my sister in Athens, OU. Yeah, that's it.
All right, congratulations, man. Great match. They're moving on. We'll throw it up to Travis.
All right, thanks, Brian. That was our Charter Next Gen Player of the Game. Garrett Weaver, 8 phenomenal saves to keep Bishop Watterson off the board. And speaking of those saves, let's take a look at the final statistics as we see if Brian can get some more interviews going down on the pitch. Shots tied at 14. Shots on target tied at 8 as Bishop Watterson really brought things on late in the match. Corner kicks, Lexington had 2, Bishop Watterson with 4. Offsides 2-1 in favor of Bishop Watterson. Possession 55-45 in favor of Watterson. Bishop Watterson 2 yellow cards, Lexington with 1 yellow card, and no red cards. Lexington with the 1-0 victory. But let's throw it back down to Brian. He has Lexington head coach Peter 10.
Thanks, Travis. Got Coach 10 with me now. Take me through the whirlwind there. The last about 3 minutes, there was a lot of pressure. The ball was in your 6 a lot, and just what was like from your vantage point as the coach?
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We got a little lucky there at the end. Weaver made some great saves defensively. The guys, stood on their heads and, just kept the ball at the back of the net. And sometimes you got to win them that way, and you want to make good runs and do some things. You need a little luck, and, fortunately we were a little bit lucky tonight, so I don't know what to say.
Garrett gave a lot of compliments to the back line tonight, and he says basically all season they've been coming through, and this is a defensive-minded team, only giving up half a goal per contest, Pete. So, again, you relied on them, and they got them done. What more can you say about them?
I mean, they played great tonight. I think, number 8, Trenton, whatever, he's all that they've built him up to be. And, I think he was waiting for us to make that one mistake, and I don't think we fully made a mistake. We made some half mistakes, and we kind of corrected ourselves, and we were able to kind of, stay balanced, I think, for the most part. And I think that's, where he gets the other defenses off balance, and then he can make things happen and create chances. And, we were just – our shape was great, cover balance was good, and, then Weaver's there in the back just kind of cleaned things up. And, I mean, that was a heck of a last 15, 20 minutes, living on the edge. We started out well in the second half. If we would have been able to score there, those first 2, 3, 4 chances that we had there in the second half, I would have, 2-0 would have been nice. But it's, that was a great Bishop Watterson team, and they gave us everything we needed to have, and we're lucky to keep moving on. So.
Yeah, you're going to move on and play Lima Shawnee third year in a row in the postseason, so starting to make a habit of seeing each other. So I imagine a lot of the motivation by some of these older guys, the loss to the Indians last year, and it's going to propel them again into Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, getting that rematch. Obviously, we're the only loss they have on the season, so that's going to be motivating for them as well. And for our guys, it's the postseason and that sour taste that we got last year. And it's just, keep this train moving, next game up, and they're in the way, so we got to take care of business and keep moving. So, all right.
Yeah, congratulations, survive in advance. You do it again here tonight. Pete Tem, head coach of the Minutemen. Thanks for your time, bud.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, for being here.
Back up to you, Trav.
Thank you, Brian, and head coach Peter Them for the victorious Lexington Minutemen as they get win number 15 on the season. They will take on Shawnee on Saturday morning, right back here at Marion Harding High School for the regional championship. Number 6 in the state versus number 5 in the state for a spot in the Final Four. 6 versus 5 for 4 on Saturday at 11 a.m. But that will wrap things up here from Marion Harding with your final score: Lexington 1, Bishop Watterson 0. Take a look at the great Brian Skoronsky making his way across the pitch. Good work by him tonight. Want to thank everybody for making this match possible tonight. On cameras, we had Garrett Parlett, Hayden Gray up top, and Storm Blunchley, Storm and G-Man on the sidelines. Everybody back at BS Media Productions, Jory Hollenbeck, Adam Thompson, Brian Skoronsky. I want to thank Charter Next Generation, our MVP, scoreboard, and replay. Also pregame halftime sponsor. I want to thank Mechanics Bank and Charter Next Generation as our commercial sponsors. And want to thank the great Adam Thompson, as always, for his great production tonight. Also want to thank the folks at Marion Harding High School for allowing us to be here tonight. And most importantly, we want to thank you, the fans, for watching. One final time, Lexington gets the 1-0 victory, their 13th shutout of the season. They're back in the regional championship on Saturday morning. For Brian Skoronsky, I am Travis Berardi saying so long from Marion.